All right, hello everyone. I wanted to do a quick video here. I did one video a while back about good and bad sources of information for mathematics. In this case, just in particular, regarding the Order of Operations Convention, and most specifically on BODMAS. Because I see a lot of people respond that, well, I never was taught BODMAS. Never heard of it before. It's something that's new math or whatever, which is false. The order of operations has been around for a long time. Now, the actual acronym BODMAS, which stands for brackets, orders, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction, that's not been around as long. I mean, some of these acronyms, they're just memorization tools that have been created. So like kind of right off the bat when I do a search and I do like a Google search and I'll say like when did BODMAS start? This is typically what happens when you get onto an online debate or and you're in a forum. People begin to Google things. However, they're not really discerning when it comes to figuring out what's a credible source. And right off the bat, I have no idea what topper is, Toppr. And someone's, the very first thing, question, when was BODMAS invented? Answer, there's no definitive date for the invention of BODMAS, but appeared in writing around the early 1600s. Well, I guarantee you that BODMAS, the actual acronym BODMAS, didn't occur around then. Now, there were books, some of the earliest books on algebra back in the 1600s. I can't remember the exact year. There was Franz von Schooten. I can't pronounce the name. He was a Dutch mathematician. I think it was, and I'm going off of memory. I'm not Googling this. I think it was like 1646. Somebody can correct me if they want, but I think it was the book Vieta, Vieta. I believe there was some symbology in that book that was, some regarded the order of operations, and so it's been shown, at least in Western civilization, in books dating back to the 16th century, um, s- or or earlier. Um, I think that's about the rough time. So, but Bodmas itself wasn't a thing. I honestly don't know when Bodmas came into fashion, the actual acronym. But you'll see things in here like, and this is one post I get this sent to me all the time. Like, you're full of it. I went to school in 1983, never heard of it. And one of your Google search results will be this post from Quora, which says Botanist has been around in education since 1923. I don't know where they come up with that either. It says botanist has been around in education since 1923. However, it appears it wasn't taught rigorously in schools until the introduction of the national curriculum in 1988. Does anyone have any examples of O-level maths regarding using it, or maths questions using it? I'm sorry. And so this is referring to the United Kingdom, the national curriculum O level. I'm not from the United Kingdom, so I don't really understand all the O levels and the different levels of math. Um, in North America, specifically the United States, you've got elementary school, and then you've got high school, college, so on. You've got those different levels. And I guarantee the order of operations did not come into being in 1988. That has roots back to the 16th century. I can dig up the books such as the first year algebra from, I think it's Walter Hart. Did I get that right? Was it William? I think it was Walter Hart and someone else from like 1913. Clearly discusses the order of operations, and the precedence of multiplication and division over addition and subtraction. But a lot of times people send me screenshots of this and say, look, I got you. Haha, look at this, 1988. I went to school in 1974. I went to school in 1987. See, I never had it. And what people don't understand though is that this is a post in Quora. Quora is it's kind of like Reddit, where you can go in and you can post things, whatever you want. This is a post that somebody placed in here. This isn't like a reference for mathematics. And when you look at this, I don't even see in here. I don't actually get on to um, Quora that often, but like this was something that was posted by somebody. And yeah, I'm not sure exactly who it was that posted it now as looking at this, but it's a post that somebody made. It's not something that is necessarily fact. And you actually have people in here that responded and says, "Well, I was taught BODMAS for O-level maths in 1972 and A-level in 1974. It was the accepted way of calculating. I'm fairly sure I'd not have passed either if it weren't." Which is correct. I mean, yeah, and BODMAS and PEDMAS, and this guy's correct too. He made a response to whoever posted this. I Somewhere buried in here, you can actually find out who posted that. But again, it's just some post. Bodmas and Penmas, yeah, they kind of really are silly. They're six-letter acronyms, but they don't really tell you why. A lot of people just memorize those things, um, and they don't understand that there's only four steps. They don't understand really that multiplication is a higher priority than addition, and because it is repeated addition. Multiplication is repeated addition. So it's been around. The order of operations has been around. But and then here we have this neuroscientist, bioinformatician, former physics professor, okay, which I guess they updated this comment 11 months ago. And they make a good comment saying that PEMDAS and BODMAS say to do exactly the same thing, but are just using different words. And if you follow each of them, you get exactly the same result. It's just using different letters for different words to give exactly the same instruction for the order, and so that's exactly right. PEMDAS is parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. BODMAS is brackets, orders, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. It's just a difference in terms as far as, in North America, they're generally called parentheses, those grouping symbols. In the UK, they're called brackets. Um, in North America, we like to refer to exponents as the term. Exponents is not really a very good descriptive term because that level on that second level there after the parentheses also includes things like factorials and square roots, but and exponents are part of that. Orders is a little more general. I kind of like orders better, even though I'm from North America. Orders really is a general term, including your exponents, your factorials, your square roots, basically anything that is a shorthand for repeated multiplication. So this entire thing is great, but this is a very, very good very, very good comment. And I recommend reading it for anybody who's a little bit confused, because a lot of people will get confused and they think that PEMDAS and BODMAS are different. The really sad part of this whole thing is the PS part, where they had to update it. It said, due to some very argumentative people who will probably not pass their algebra classes. Love that. I have disabled comments for this post. As someone who has taught college level calculus and physics for over 40 years, I mean, this is a very bright person, and done research in both quantum mechanics and bioinformatics. I'm not familiar with that one. I can assure you that I know how to solve simple algebra expressions. Keep in mind that PEMDAS and BODMAS are mnemonics. I think technically they're acronyms. A mnemonic, I think, is like please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, right? Where it sounds like something, right? Um, that's fine. I'm not jumping on her at all on this. This is a very good comment. They help you understand the order of operations. That's all they are. That's true. By the way, there are some great online algebra solvers that can help you with these ideas. Just be sure that you input the expression correctly to get the correct answer. Best of luck. Yeah, this is a great comment. Love it. And the problem is there were people that responded to her and just were like brutal and just stunningly ignorant. Poor Manette Fowler. My God, you really should go back. I hope you have your password to your Quora account because you really need to go back and delete this. This is so bad, and this is probably why our poor Anne had to turn off comments because Manette comes in here and goes, "You are wrong. PEMDAS says to multiply before divide. BODMAS says to divide before multiply. Give you two totally different answers." Um, and then Cameron Lindo comes in and, says, "Hey, Manette, you need to check your reading comprehensions because did you even read the rest of the comment? You do whatever comes first from left to right. There's only one right answer if you follow the rule." So, yeah, I mean, you got people that come in here, and this is typical of every forum. When you have people online, everybody wants to be right, so they just go and they just throw their comments out. Doesn't matter that Anne's a, physicist, a physics professor, has taught for 40 years, knows what she's talking about. I mean, I couldn't hold a candle to what she probably knows, not even close. And yet you've got, Manette who comes there and is like, "I got you." It's really kind of sad. But my whole point on this is these things are you've got to be able to look online. There's the Khan Academy is a good source of information. There are good sources out there. You can find some schools, colleges will have websites that are pretty good. But sometimes if you're pointing to some blogger that lives in India and puts a random post, you've got to look at it with an eye, an eye of scrutiny because it could be false. I've seen things there's famous problems out there too, like, hey, I bought a cow for $800, sold it for $1,000. I bought the cow again for 1,100, sold it for 1,300. How much did I make? The answer to that's $400, by the way. And people will go on and on and on about all these other answers that are incorrect, like, it was 300 because you lost $100, or it doesn't matter what you did in the middle, it only matters at the beginning and the end, so he made $500, all these things. And then, there was, and I actually found this. I have it in a really old video, one of the very early terrible videos I did where I still don't know how to edit video very well. But anyhow, someone had posted a link to a blogger in India who had this argument for why the answer was like $300. And he said, "Hey, man, because it's on the internet, I've got this link saying it was 300. This is true." And unfortunately, the person who sent that link, really didn't have the critical thinking capacity to really think that through and go, is this a credible source? Is this something like the Khan Academy or the University of Texas or the University of Maryland or MIT or wherever? Is it a credible source? Is it from a teacher who actually knows what they're talking about instead of some random blogger from who knows where? And so, yeah. But anyhow, just wanted to run through this one really quick because I continue to have people send me this somehow as their proof that BODMAS didn't exist or the order of operations didn't exist back in their day. So all I'm saying is please use a little bit of critical thinking, think these things through, and good luck.